Hey everyone, hope you all doing well. I haven't made a video in quite a while. I've been contemplating what to do with these channels. I can keep doing political talk, but you can get that anywhere. And frankly, it's it's a little bit depressing. And it's, you know, every day all you're going to do is go on about what the Democrats are doing. It's they're one of two things. Either they're bound and determined to destroy as much of the country in the next 2 years as they can, or they're not worried about elections. Now, that's the case here in Nevada, but except for one congressional district, which they don't control out of Vegas, but and it's way too red for them to put in algorithms, so they just leave that one go. But for all the statewide elections, which we very rarely, Harry Reid was the only statewide Democrat that was elected in this state for, I've lived here 20 years now, for probably about the first 16. Everybody else was all Republican. Occasionally one Democrat would float in there, but the first thing they did when they got control was to make sure that they would never lose elections again, much like Oregon and Washington with the mail-in voting and everything like that. And of course, the second thing they did was try and do as much as they could to destroy the Second Amendment. Anyway, enough about that. What I'm going to turn this channel into is how to prepare, and it's not just a political disaster, solar flares, a nuclear bomb. Any that stuff is applicable. Obviously, tornado, hurricane, forest fire. I think we probably will see a lot more forest fires next year once summer hits with this Antifa group, because I seen pictures of them setting the fires up in the Northwest. I heard somebody tweeted out and showed all the fires and said these fires must not have a Canadian passport, because all the fires went right up to the Canadian border and then stopped. And then I seen some things where people took pictures and it showed a guy in all black with a gas can and a road flare lighting things up. So I suspect that they'll continue that on. So if you live in the western United States, just be prepared for that. Here in Nevada, what we have to worry about more than anything is we get 1 to 2 major windstorms a year that probably would be considered hurricanes if we lived on the coast. It would be low level, hurricane ones and that. But our infrastructure here seems to be built, because wind's always a problem here. So our structure is built that honestly we rarely lose power, even during the worst windstorms. There's been a few times, but in the 20 years that I've lived here, I've seen a lot of houses, roofs destroyed and that, but I've only seen one telephone pole down. But what I'm going to talk to you about, because I was talking to somebody else about this the other day. Some of you know I used to travel a lot up and down the western part, the northwest part of the United States. In my journeys, by vehicle, sometimes by plane. But my journeys took me through some of the most remote parts of the Northwest. I mean, there's parts in Nevada, uh, Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, Washington, Montana, where you don't even see a cow for 100 miles, let alone a house or anything like that. So I had to, my channel might seem like a preparedness channel, but it's different, I think, than the other preparedness channels, and that I'm not a bushcrafter. I don't have any desire to go out and play in the woods. I go out in the hills all the time, but I'm either going out to shoot, fish, hunt, something along them lines. And rarely am I going to put myself in a situation where I'm going to get lost, or uh, where if I have vehicle problems, that I can't walk back before dark. I'm just cautious with that. I do keep a survival bag in my car. I've showed you my fire starter. I've showed you my bottle. An upcoming video, I'm going to show you what's in the pack as far as equipment, gear, and everything else. In addition to that, in my truck, I always keep at least a case of water. I keep some extra food. If I'm going to be going on a long trip, I'll stop at like Subway and I'll buy a foot-long sandwich. I never eat more than a half the 6-inch. So I got 2 meals there that honestly would last me 2 days easy enough. But then in my car, in my pack, I always have this. This is my food kit, and it's got dried milk, got some salt and pepper, got some H2O hydrator, which is basically Gatorade on steroids. Got a Pop-Tart, got some hard candy, got some chocolate, tea bags. I don't drink coffee, but I got a couple instant packs of coffee. There's some sugar in there, some hot chocolate. What's all in here? A couple things of hot chocolate. Salt and pepper, I don't know if I said that. And a bunch of bouillon cube. Just different stuff like that. In addition to that, I've got protein bars. I don't really like these things that much, but they work, and some nuts. And, if I come across somebody that's broke down or whatever and they're waiting on help, I can just give them this package and at least they got a little bit of food, whatever. If I get in a situation where I'm going to be, and then I always keep one of these in there too. This is Lifeboat Rations. I don't know if they call them Lifeboat Rations anymore. They got a 5-year shelf life. The only complaint really about them is they can be a little bit dry, but they don't make you thirsty. And sometimes people get them and they're already a year into their 5-year shelf life. Well, I think I paid $5 for this. And if I only get 4 years out of it, which I think this one actually expired in October of 20. I'm going to wait another year and then open it up, and I suspect it's still going to be just as good as the day it was packaged. And then some of the other things I do, like if I know I'm going to be gone for a while, this was Saturday's breakfast. And what was left over, some eggs, hash browns, bacon, and I just put it in this and freeze it. And if I'm going to a snowbank and I'm stuck for a day or two in one of the worst storms in history, which we do get them occasionally here in the Northwest. So I won't be getting any help anytime soon. I'll just boil me some water in my mess kit and throw this in there and let it warm up, and I'm good to go. I take a cooler and throw one of these in there. This is only if I'm going to be on extended trips. I normally don't do this, but just to show you an example. Here's another one. If I was going to maybe hunting for an overnight trip or fishing over, this is about a third rack of ribs. I'd probably throw, a potato in there. We've got some macaroni salad that we made with this. I would put a container of that in there. Thaw it out, and we're good to go. Here's another breakfast deal I made up, and I might include this in the pack too. It's got a sweet cake, a shortcake, hot chocolate, Pop-Tart, a fruit bar, some oatmeal, a little condiment thing. It's got a few other things too in here. But that's pretty much a complete breakfast. And, it's at least enough to keep me alive. Now, a lot of people will be saying, that's a lot of food to take with you. And there's some weight to that. Well, that's true. There is. But most of the time that pack's staying in my car or my truck. And I don't care about the weight, but I got it there when I need it. And I got everything vacuum sealed because I want it to last longer and I want it to keep. I wanted to know that when I open it up, it's good to go. What else was there? Again, all I do is heat up some water, throw this in there, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe. I've got, have a potato, tinfoil, throw it in the fire, break out the mac salad. Yeah, I got a pretty good meal for, hardly anything. And this is all leftovers. So that was from Saturday's breakfast. So anyway, that's some of the things. Oh, I know what I got off on a rabbit trail there. I carry more food than the average person does. Somebody was bragging to me, well, they don't need to carry hardly any food because they know how to forage, fish, and hunt. Well, I know how to fish and hunt too. And I know how to forage to a certain extent. But there's not a lot of foraging on the high desert. There's not a lot of food available. I mean, we're not like the eastern woodlands or even the Pacific Northwest, where, along the coast, where you have plentiful berries and stuff like that. We pretty much got dirt, rocks, sagebrush, and got some pinyon pines, but they have to be in season. And, make the pinyon nuts. And I'll tell you what, doing pinyon nuts is a lot of work. Anybody that's never done them wouldn't understand what all goes into them. But last year's about 8 of us went up and spent all day up there. And we all got a baggie about this size. That was it. and we pretty much work nonstop. So anyway, that's what I keep in my bag. Maybe I'll give you guys some suggestions. Um, Nothing expensive here. This is probably the most expensive one. Probably next. This is probably $2. I don't know, maybe $2. This is leftovers. This is leftovers. And this one, oh, maybe $1.50, somewhere around there. Anyway, I hope this helps. Y'all have a good day. Bye.